What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need in your life to help you grow. The choice is yours. And if you don't want to learn the game and apply it, you know what I'm saying? The energy frequency is going to make you adjust some things. You know what I'm saying? So listen, before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. Hey, look. It ain't even really gonna be no title. I'ma just jump right into it. Stop resisting. Listen, let me say it one more time. Stop resisting. It is such an important time in life right now where everything that we have suppressed, everything that we have ran from, everything that stopped us from being our true self, we put on a permanent mask. It is now time for you to throw that mask in the trash can. I don't care how much you try to resist. Life will get so uncomfortable for you that you will have no choice but to go within and do the healing. Now, oftentimes it will be cases where people, no matter what, will continue to resist, and their life will get so uncomfortable that it will just fuel their rage. You know what I'm saying? And it turns them into people that it's not them. It's the dark. It's the evil entity that's just so powerful and strong that it is doing everything it can to stay where it wants to stay. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I personally believe that it is at least maybe 5% of who you are still left inside of you, no matter what you went through. You know what I'm saying? But pulling that 5% out is the part that is very difficult. You know what I'm saying? Because people will push, pull, fight, tug, do whatever they have to do to not have to go to the places that are uncomfortable. It is just so frightening for them to have to go somewhere they never thought they would have to go. But now is sort of like time. You're gonna get pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. I'm speaking from experience, until you have no choice but to go within and do the healing. You know what I'm saying? Or you can turn into a mad person. You know what I'm saying? That wears a mask predicted by evil until you go out into the world and most of the people have done the change and the shift. And so it will scare your demons. Your mask will fall off. And those people will no longer want to be around or associate with someone that's constantly wearing a mask. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost as if you're not really getting a choice. Back then, we had a choice. We could choose to be the people that was hidden by the mask because we were too afraid to be who we truly were meant to be, or who we truly wanted to be in a world where it was frowned upon for you to be who you are. You usually have to adjust yourself to certain norms to be able to be accepted by the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Because that is when these powerful entities were the strongest. But people knew this time was coming. People before us, you feel me, that sit in higher positions than we do, knew that this time was going to come at some point. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost as if some people were put in positions where they were forced to change. You know what I'm saying? So you could be an asset, because the shift is going to be so strong. It's almost going to shift almost all of the world into becoming different people. If not, your fate will be left in the hands of the universe, which means you will have to constantly look over your back. Like, that is not a life I would want to live. You know what I'm saying? Period. You know? So it's almost like if I could just, say to anybody. I just had to drop these little gems off before I get into this kitchen, you know what I'm saying, and cook some dinner. But it's to the point now in life where those masks that stayed glued to your faces is going to be thrown in the trash, destroyed, crumbled, never coming back. You know what I'm saying? You can fight the change, you can fight the energy all you want. You can fight this energy with them dark entities all you want, but at some point you're just gonna have to be real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And stop resisting the change and stop fighting, or else your life will just be a big, very uncomfortable mess. And if you really think about it, nobody likes to be uncomfortable. That puts your mind in a state of distress. You know what I'm saying? Violent outbursts, you're yelling. You know what I'm saying? You're worried about everything. You're trying to keep everything together. Like, that is just a stressful way to live your life after you've been living like that for so long. I don't care how much of an easy breeze people may put on social media or when they're in front of you, you know what I'm saying, when you're kicking it with them for an hour or two and y'all having fun and everything seems good, you feel me? But when it's time to go back home or into your safe space, those thoughts and who that person is in that safe space is the person that has to be dealt with majority of the time. You can only fake it for so long when you go outside into the public, but you always got to go back home. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost as if, why keep fighting and resisting the change to go back home, where you have to be your truest and purest self? It's easy to go out into the world and put on a mask. It's easy to step outside and pretend to be somebody. That's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard at all. But when you go back to your safe space, that is who you really are. And that person could be in a state of distress, you know what I'm saying, fighting off old karma, fighting off bad decisions, fighting off bad choices, you know what I'm saying, and it's putting people in distress. And ultimately you are choosing options for your fate. And listen, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. So it's now like a time and period where everybody had to go through the shift. Everybody had to go through the change. It makes it to where it's so uncomfortable that you cannot fight it. And people that are going to shift at a later date or at a later time, they will judge you. They will put you down. They will not understand what is happening. They will not get why they can no longer use you for the old person they have in their head. You know what I'm saying? Because the shift for them has not taken place yet, but I'm almost absolutely sure some things in their life is becoming uncomfortable for them. And it's starting to make sense why, you know what I'm saying, we can no longer hold people in the same position as when we met them. You know what I'm saying? People are evolving and changing. You know, it's like, for example, the Thriller music video for Michael Jackson. You know how he was Michael Jackson and then he turned into the, you feel me, the little thing? That is probably the best part of the video. I used to be looking at that like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? After so long, you cannot fight it. You can't. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost as if the way the world has been operating is we've been the beast on forefront. The beast has always been shown. Like the ugly parts of us, you know what I'm saying, always had the mask on. Now it's time to reverse that and have the real you come out and the beast contained. Now, don't get me wrong. It's there. It's in there. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost as if life is going to lessen your circumstances to make that beast evolve and come out. You know what I'm saying? It's almost to the point where you're having to be who you really are to get your life to operate the way you want. The beast will no longer be running the show. You know what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong when I say this. The beast is still in everyone. You know what I'm saying? It's just now time for the beast to go back to sleep. Because it has been running and ruling everything in life based off of pure evil. And the ones that were not operating like that, they wore constant masks to be able to fit themselves in places where they were not supposed to be, but now realizing that by doing that, they were slowly killing themselves. Everything that they were doing that was not really them was slowly killing them off. And they don't even know, because they were just trying to be the oddballs and be comfortable in places where they were not meant to fit in. You know what I'm saying? It's now time that, I can't say it no louder. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Everything that you have been sitting on, everything that you have been creating your life around, it's time to, excuse my language, throw that shit up and deal with it head on. Or else your life is going to keep putting you in a state of destruction. And then you got to think about it. Like, some people, some circumstances in their life have turned them so, like, could be cold, but it could be just chasing after things to mask the pain, that they feed into that negativity. They feed into destruction. They feed into their life going crazy. They feed into the mayhem in their mind, which is going to change them into a worser beast than the one they have you been using stuff to mask behind, to hide behind. Listen, you don't want that type of life, especially if you got kids. Listen, no. You know what I'm saying? It's now time. Fight it. You have to go up against it head on now. We've been hiding behind it for so long. It's time to go head first into your own bullshit. It's time for you to go head first into fighting you. It's time for you to go head first into battling your demons, into battling the things that have made you not really be who you are. And listen, everybody knows, you know what you be doing. You know how you judge people. You know how you put people down. You know how you look at people for, you know what I'm saying, not having what you got. You know how you control people, you know what I'm saying, to make them feed into you, but you will never pour into them. You know what I'm saying? You know how you lean on people instead of always leaning on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you know how you always talking about somebody, always putting somebody down. You know what I'm saying? You notice how you constantly on the chase for the bag, because if you don't present yourself like you got money, you feel me, you don't feel it. Listen, it is time to shape that way of thinking. Still get the money, you feel me? But you won't be ruled by that. That won't be a mask to cover up who you really are. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's like the universe, God, Allah, your higher power is in control now. So the energy is going to get to a point where your back is going to be up against the wall so tight that you're going to be forced to have to make a choice. And why not make a positive one? So that your life is just, you know what I'm saying, free flowing. You don't have to worry about nothing. You're not tripping. You're not worried about impressing people. You don't care about what others think. You know what I'm saying? You're solely aware of what is no longer serving you, taking them out and living life to the best of your ability. Because the only battle in your mind, the only person fighting that is you. Not nobody else. I don't care how close you are to them. They are not fighting the same battle as you are. They're fighting their own battle in their own way of thinking. Y'all may have similarities, you know what I'm saying? But they're fighting their own battle. And first and foremost, they're going to put their battle first before they put yours. That's just the reality of the world. You know what I'm saying? People are now trying to, you know what I'm saying, get married and be in love and stuff. And the only way to a long-lasting marriage, or, you know what I'm saying, is to love yourself. Otherwise, that is going to cripple fast, because they're going to start to see parts of you that they may not be okay with because they're not healed inside themselves. And then next thing you know, it creates riffraff. And you got to understand, when you create a physical paper trail in the reality of life, you feel me, sometimes it's hard to back out of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you done did everything. You done tied the knot. You done signed the paperwork. Now you got to go. Listen, it's a heavy process. So why not create your reality in your mind first so you could be able to make the right choices to create your reality how you see fit for yourself? And I'm talking about shedding the physical pain we have been subjected to for our whole entire lives that necessarily wasn't ours. It was just a karmic cycle that has been put on humans for a long time. So a new wave of energy has came in and is pushing that old cycle out to involve and incorporate a new one, which means you have to release jealousy, envy, judging, putting people down. Because if you show those type of emotions, that means something inside of you ain't cool. If you can't accept a person for being who they are, because you have so much judgment inside yourself. You know what I'm saying? You took somebody judging you so personal that you now turned into them and you judge others. Instead of thinking about how I am powerful inside myself. I can do what I want in life. I can live my life the way that I want to. Also, by abiding by certain universal spiritual laws, though. There are laws to spirituality. And you have to follow them, because if you don't, you will get your karma. You know what I'm saying? But you are entitled to be who you want to be. Period. You shouldn't let nobody stop you. I don't care how hard life may have been. I don't care how much you may have been your own critic. That's the problem. You are so much of your own critic that you criticize others. Instead of being like, you know what, I accept myself wholeheartedly. I went inside the pits of hell, took out that 5%, faced it head on, healed it, and I'm so okay and content with myself that I no longer judge people or what they got going on. I accept people for who they are. And if I'm not okay with what they're doing, I just, separate myself from them. Man, you got to think about it. Off these years of a spell and programming, whether y'all choose to believe it or not, that's what it is. Because we were pulled and ruled by money, social status. We judged people. We talked about people, especially if they wasn't doing what we wanted them to do. You feel me? It's a lot. Fights and toxicness, all that. You know what I'm saying? It was all set up for us to go against us and to, in turn, go against others. That's not universal law. That's a violation of universal law. That's a violation of your spiritual laws. You know what I'm saying? To be content with who you are means you don't judge anyone. You let them be free to be who they are. If they don't stay up to your standards, that means you're either trying to control people or something inside you was off. That just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell a person how they should be, what they should do, and how they should dress and how they should act. Why? Do you feel like you are in power and control to try to get somebody to do that? That's wrong. And it's a violation. And it shows a lot about how you feel about yourself. I don't care what you got. I don't care what you have. I don't care how you paint your social status. If you judge people, all I can say is stop fighting it. Stop resisting change. Deal with that energy in the pits of hell that you've been sitting on almost your whole entire life. Face it head on, heal it, and be willing to walk outside and understand that people are going to be them. They are living life suitable for how they want to be in life. And it's not anything to do with the outside appearance, what they had, the money, nothing. It's their soul. It's the type of person that you see when you look into their soul. It will tell you everything you need to know, regardless of social status and what they have. And it's dark entities that are in people if they are the type of people that judge people, or they're the type of people that hide like vampires, like they're too scared of the light. You feel me? Because they know that they have been running their life judging people. They know that they have been running their life in power and control by the things that they have, so they control others. We almost half of the population will be able to see that. You can no longer cover that up. You feel me? And depending on how your mind is structured, you can take people being pulled away from you in a sense of they did something to me, or you can sit back and realize that is something that you need to work on inside yourself, to where these people are being stripped from you. Stop resisting and fighting to change, so we can eventually at some point be the ones that, you feel me, kick this motherfucking evil entity in the ass. Excuse my language, I just had to say that, because it has been constructed by a past that was before us. You know what I'm saying? Of not being able to accept people for who they are. You know what I'm saying? We're all humans. We all were born pure and clean when we came into this world. But the world tainted us. And that's nobody's fault, but, you know what I'm saying, the brain structure of what people before them knew, and what they knew and what they knew and what they learned and how they put it onto us. It was a spell to basically corrupt the whole world into thinking that they don't have to be truly themselves. As long as you got money, as long as you got social status, as long as you got everything that everybody like, you got the husband or the wife and the kids, the white picket fence with the big house, you feel me? But behind the scenes, husband be cheating and all that, and you still stay with him because he got a big bankroll. Listen, baby, listen. You feel me? You married to the pastor, you feel me? He's sleeping with little kids in the church. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to destroy the history of that, so you don't say nothing. You just deal with it. That makes the beast come out before people snap, baby. You feel me? It's only so long you can contain the beast before it snaps. You know what I'm saying? You are not gonna no longer be able to hide that. It's so many corrupted things going on that people would hide behind. It's no longer about to be like that. That's why, you feel me, I just hopefully can help people by understanding, deal with it head on. Every day I open my eyes and get up, I am battling that old version of myself, which I consider to be the beast, because I was engaging in doing things and had a certain way of thinking that was slowly killing me off. You know what I'm saying? But the more I go against that person and the beliefs and the structural system that was in place for that person, the stronger I grow. You know what I'm saying? You don't trigger me and I don't trigger you, because I'm so confident in who I am. I don't care if you don't like me. Oh, you don't like me? Okay, cool. Next. You know what I'm saying? That's still not going to make me adjust to what you want me to adjust to. That's still not going to make me be who you want me to be. I'm me, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can either accept it for what it is, or you can go over there, and that's fine. I've let go of attachment, so I don't need anyone to validate myself. Period. I don't care who you are. Period. I can't say that enough, but it's because oftentimes we create our image based off of what other people think about us. You just got to be real. You embarrassed of what people would say if you started living your life for you. You don't want people to make you feel less than or intimidated, like you can't live your life for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you change your thinking and put in your mind that then people are only talking about you because it's something inside of them that they haven't healed yet, and they only tend to hang around people that operates in that same trauma. Anybody that has elevated out of it, we tend to have our demons show to them because we have not got there. You know what I'm saying? It's the way the world is, but I'm just saying, because I just, you know what I'm saying? I have an overall love for people in general, just because I know how much of a battle I had to fight just to be myself. And oftentimes I couldn't even be myself. I had to constantly be what people wanted me to be. And I was slowly killing myself in the inside. Times when I was by myself, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking to myself like, damn, I'm in this controlling ass relationship. You feel me? I'm doing stuff that I really don't want to do with these friends. You know what I'm saying? Why is it that I like going to the library and reading books, but nobody I kick it with like to do that? They just like to get drunk and stuff. And I'm not judging, to each his own, but it stopped me from thinking that it was okay to be me. I felt like it was something wrong with being who I truly want to be. And as time goes on, you'll realize not being who you are is slowly killing you off. period. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I didn't want to make this too long. I'm going to end it and just help people to understand that stop resisting yourself. Stop resisting the change. Stop fighting it, because the energy is only going to get stronger until at some point people merge. And it's happening slowly but surely in phases. You got to give people time. You know what I'm saying? We're programming after learning things for 30 plus years. You know what I'm saying? And we're evolving into people that we're meant to be. You know what I'm saying? But also, what comes with evolving into who you truly are is the fact that we are no longer going to be acceptable of evil, dark entities and people that control people or be nasty to people solely because they're invalid inside themselves. It will be no more of that, because people will understand that it is okay to be yourself. Listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.